The thing about being prepared is there's always that angle. There's always a blind spot. Whenever you're preparing for something, there's always a blind spot, and the blind spot is your own ability to mess it up. And of course, well, free will. The blind spot is free will, because if you're dealing with you and you're dealing with other people, everybody in that situation has free will, and they can act in disobedience with the system of preparedness. So, or like something can happen that is not intended. And to be prepared, you have to, well, be a bit unprepared. And I mean, it's like, well, opposites. So how's that gonna work? Well, it's the black-white thing. White expands, black diminishes. If you only expand, you end up adding things to yourself that should not be there and will make growth more difficult. Or less happy anyways. And if you, well, obviously if you don't expand at all, that's a problem, which is in the color of black thing, where it just decompresses. It just goes in. White goes out, black goes in. Like internal, external sort of thing. And then grieving and being joyful and being too happy and not being happy enough. So then you integrate. So like if you have 90% preparedness and 10% unpreparedness, or what is it? 90% preparedness and 10%. I mean, I could say unpreparedness, but that's not really getting the point across. That word, spontaneity. That's in the realm of what I mean, anyways, of having a certain amount of tolerance for creative thinking outside of what you were prepared to do. So, like with having children, or finding a partner, and I'm thinking about these things, and since this isn't a vlog format, I'll just go in that direction. So I have concluded that the two most valuable things that I would find in a female partner, because I only want a female partner, it's like, even just, like when a guy hangs around guys, that's good. But hanging around guys doesn't offer what hanging around girls does. And because of that, you should be hanging around girls more than you hang around guys. Because if you're around guys too much, then, well, there's too much masculine energy. But if you're around girls too much, it's too much feminine energy. So I say being around girls more, but that's more in the sense of being around a partner. For the male perspective, marriage, all that. Going by the Judeo-Christian value system, that sort of thing. Judeo, because it's Judah, it's Jewish. Or in that realm, anyways. Going on that thought, and then now coming back to what I meant. And that's an example of the broadness of white versus the decompressing of black. I just broadened what I was speaking about, and because of that, now I've got to find my way back to what I just did. So now I've got to amputate what I was just saying in order to, I've got to use the black side of the color spectrum in order to get back to where I just was, because if I use the white side, I'm just going to go everywhere. Which is what I did, or started doing. I was talking about I was talking about partners. I was talking about being around men versus being around women. And that's like, okay, so you go to a men's group, but you shouldn't live with guys. You should live with a girl. And hopefully after being married to her, but because if you live with guys, then you get too loose. You don't understand the dynamics of being around a female because you're so used to being around a male, or you're so used to being by yourself. But being by yourself is, well, two are better than one, so actually there's that. Teamwork. You want to be out of debt, use teamwork. I mean, that's like, it's the whole system. I go out and work at this place. Now me and this company are working together, and I'm benefiting the company. Hopefully, the company is benefiting me, and because of that teamwork, now I don't have debt going on, because I eliminated it into, okay, I'm going to be in this hierarchy so that I'm not just flattened. And with it, there's this thing like Jordan Peterson was talking about in a video that I was listening to, about if you step out on your own, starting your own business, that sort of thing, like what I'm doing right now with Rumble, self-employment, starting my own business. But the process isn't like that. The process is like that. And because it's like that, and I have more of a do it now nature, when I go and do it now, and then I see, okay, it's just like that, and there's no money. And then when there's no money, it's like, okay, I'm in the dead zone. And when I'm in the dead zone, I can be flattened if I don't have a support unit. So thankfully I do have a support unit, but then because I have a support unit and I'm going in the pursuit of passions instead of in the pursuit of what is more societally expected, I then reap the repercussions of that, which is, okay, someone has debt, I want to pay off their debt because I don't have debt. And then, okay, there's no money. How am I going to pay off their debt? How am I going to help people if I don't have the means to? And, well, that's the thing. When you have that nature about you that you, okay, I see a problem, resolved. And then when it comes to the place that now, instead of it being just resolved, it's stopped. I mean, like, okay, I'm going to resolve it. Wait. Where's the money? You're going to resolve it. Where's the money? I mean, the question is here, and then this is your ambition to get it done. Hey, where's the money? Where's the money at? You want to pay out the debt? Where's the money? And, well, that's the thing. I mean, I like having a childish nature in the sense of, I want to have creative energy. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to be sad, and I don't want to be thinking that, okay, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do that. I don't want to think like that. But there's that distinction. So I am more like in the white spectrum of, okay, broad, and just thinking out here. But then I end up leaving the more critical black section, which is, you have to do this. If you don't do this, you can't do that. And if I can't do that, that's not a good position to be in. If I can't pay for a date, if I can't, I mean, even if it's a friendship date, which I mean is what I'm really after, I want a partner. I want to marry a woman that I like and us be together, but I don't want to just start off with, hey, I'm dating you. No, I want to have fun. I don't want it to be like, I'm a, it's, I want to mean it. And you mean it when it's with somebody you actually like. But if you start off by dating someone, and this may be juvenile thinking, I don't know. I'm still learning on that. If I focus on the serious side of it, then I don't want to lose the fun side of it by doing that. And friendships are supposed to be fun. Dating gets way too serious. And when it gets way too serious, it's a drain on your emotions instead of being happy. And that's the thing. I want a happy relationship. I don't want, okay, we gotta do this, and then we gotta do that. I don't want that. I want happiness. I want to enjoy the relationship. And like that little amount of sorrow that goes along with that, so that we're not stuck in, okay, we're happy, but we're not getting anywhere. And I do want to get somewhere, but I want to enjoy getting there, and I want to enjoy after we're already there. Because if the system of the relationship is, okay, we're so serious, and we're so serious that by the time that we actually achieve what we were setting out to do, we don't know how to have fun. And if we don't know how to have fun, that's a problem. That's a very big problem because, okay, now we've gotten everything done. There's no bills to pay. There's no this. There's no that. Okay, what do we do now? What do we do now? We didn't learn how to have fun while we were learning to be serious, so now we don't know how to have fun because we were so focused on being serious. And then there's the opposite side of that of, we got so into having fun that now we're in our 40s and we're still living with our parents. We're still living with our grandparents. We're not amounting to what we should be. And now, okay, that's going to be difficult for the children. And because it's going to be difficult for children, problems. And then, I was talking about preparedness. Here's the thing with preparedness. You should have an income. You should have your own house. You should have your own vehicle. Because if you're relying on other people, then when you want to have a partner and you want to have kids, or children, evidently kids is like a term for goats, so be a biblical term. But you understand what kids means. Children, little people, Joeys. I'm a Joey, but I'm also 24, so this is fun. Maybe you don't know. I do these in a more serious dynamic of, like, I'm talking about the Bible, and then I'm talking about spiritual things. I'm talking about how you can help yourself. And right now, I'm just going and saying, I like pizza, or I like that girl, or I like having children. I haven't done it, but I do like that. I want to have a little me. Male or female, I want a little me. I want someone to go and put on my shoulders and we're going to go and have fun. We're going to go and have fun. I like that. I don't want to lose that by being too serious. I don't want to lose that by, it's stressful. It's an evil report. I don't want to have an evil report. I want to have a good report. The place that I was working at, when I was there, I successfully paid off all, I'm not going to say person, but I successfully paid off somebody else's debt. All of it. And when you do that, that's great. And then after I did that, okay, now I can go and help somebody else. And I did. I didn't like go 100% with them like I did with the other person. But, you know, like if you want to just drop $4,000 on something to help somebody. And I'm not saying that like, oh, that's so prideful and like, look at me. No, I'm saying I like doing that. That's fun. When you can just go and bless somebody and okay, you don't have to pay me back. And I mean it's the Jesus system. It's being like Christ. I'm saying I should have $4,000 just going, okay, now you're not indebted that anymore. Now that's completely paid off. I should be able to do that. You should be able to do that. 8,000, whatever. Because with Jesus, after he goes and pays off all our debt, he's not thinking, okay, you owe me this, you owe me that, you owe me this, you owe me that. It's not like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to go and, okay, I gave you, I paid that, I gave you $4,000 toward that. Now you dealt with the remainder. It's done. Now you owe me this, or you owe me this in respect, or you owe me, okay, now you're going to do whatever I say. That's wrong. That's not how Jesus does it. That's not how I'm going to do it. And that's not how I did it. And that's again not how I'm gonna do it. The blinds, they got the things, and I like for them to be a certain way. But if they're if like they're tied together, then when you go and tug on one, or I mean, I usually just tug on both of them. But either way, the little things. Yeah, life should be enjoyable, and yeah, if you focus on being prepared, overly prepared, you may end up missing out on the fun things. I mean, maybe you do want to just go and spend $100 at Sonic on a date or just with your family. You should be able to do that. And I mean, maybe that's not the same as, okay, I go and pay off this cell phone payment or something like that. And I mean, that's great too. But you should enjoy life. You should have fun. It shouldn't be a bad thing. And that's like, I'm 24. I haven't defiled myself sexually. As far as well, I've never had sex, so I haven't. I've successfully fulfilled the virgin quota, and by this point in my life, although no STDs, nothing like that, I do want a partner. I mean, I've avoided the opportunity for that. I've, whatever. No, you don't know because I'm the one saying it. Match.com, eHarmony, you go on there and then find out, okay, they didn't pay for the thing. So actually by messaging them, this Match.com, it's amounting to nothing because even though I like how they look, I like their biography or whatever, they can't talk to me because they have to pay Match for that to happen. So dating sites are a scam to a certain extent. And then to another extent, okay, you have two people that it works, it can work. And well, then there's the whole thing about the hate culture toward masculinity. So like I go and walk up to a girl and it'll probably go right. I mean, if usually there's a red flag with a girl to tell you do not talk to her. But in my case, it's like, okay, she's probably dating someone. And if she's dating someone, I don't want to pursue that. because I don't want to defile their commitment to each other. And I don't want to defile my commitment to God by being covetous. I mean, I'm like looking at the most important things here as far as a relationship. For me, number one, fear God. And that's like the reverence fear, but it also is legitimate fear. God may choose not to kill me, but he could. I mean, he's God after all. He set his own laws. And, well, he's love, so he's not going to change his laws. He's going to abide by his laws because he agrees with him. He made him. But that doesn't change that if he wanted to, he could kill me right now. No one else can do that. I mean, someone else, they'd have to walk up to me or something like that. But God, it doesn't matter where I go, what I'm doing. He could just kill me. It's easy. But it's not right. And since it's not right, he doesn't do it. If I was in that position of power, his position of power, I cannot honestly say that I would deal with it as benevolently as he does. There are people who rush into relationships and end up with an evil person, or, someone who's prone to evil behavior, like saying bad things to you, maybe even hitting you. And I have successfully evaded that. I haven't had to deal with a prostitute or something like that, a girl who just doesn't matter who she's with, she's still with everybody. I've been distant from that largely. But I've also been, well, I've never given a girl my number. I mean, there's like two meanings with that. Maybe I gave her my number in one way, but I didn't showed her what I like, or, like if I looked at her and then she could tell, oh, he likes me. Maybe that, but I've never, like, okay, do you want my phone number? Do you want to go out sometime? I've asked a girl out once. It was not the right girl. And I mean, that's what I mean by thankfully she declined. And it wasn't even like I was asking her on a date. It was just, do you want to eat together at lunch? I have lived a good life, and I still am, but I can do better. And since I can do better, I should.